A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, now we're gonna put in that scrolling text, right? What do you mean you don't know how to do it? It's just regular scrolling text. There's like a font for it. Just go, well, no, this is not it. Don't stop. This looks terrible. Get that out here. Get that out. Alright. We can still use the Star Wars theme though, right? We can still use the music? What do you mean it costs too much? Everybody uses that. It's like free, right? It's not? Oh. Well, what music are we going to use? Please tell me it's just not that stupid video game soundtrack that we always... God damn it! Hi there everybody, it's me, Aaron, Professor Thorgy, your guide to all things geeky, and right now, as we speak, D23, whatever the hell that stands for, is currently going on. It's got something to do with Disney, that's all I know. But they have made a ton of announcements about Star Wars. Why did my voice crack like I was a pubescent child there? And they made a ton of announcements. So, I got a report on that. I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan, and I am hyped for all the stuff that they announced today. This all looks exciting. First thing that we have to talk about is that a new poster for the upcoming Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, has been revealed, and there is a surprise person holding a lightsaber in that. I remember after that trailer came out and it had Luke Skywalker in there saying, and you have that power too. That was actually closer to Obi-Wan than Luke. But anyway, and he was saying, you have that power too. We were like, oh, it's going to be a lineage thing. Oh, it's going to be his kid. And everybody was kind of like, oh, I think it might be Daisy Ridley. I think it might be her character Rey. I think she's going to be the daughter of Luke Skywalker. Or maybe he's talking about the villain. The villain might be the son of Luke Skywalker. And in this poster, we got John Boyega holding a lightsaber. Oh my gosh! Whole new possibilities are now opening up. I personally, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I thought that John Boyega was gonna turn out to be like the long lost son of Han Solo, or let's be honest, grandson of Han Solo, based on how old Harrison Ford is again. But now looking at this, like, oh my gosh, maybe he's Luke Skywalker's kid. Brand new possibilities, and if he's starting off his career as a stormtrooper and then he learns, oh yeah, your dad's the one who took out Darth Vader and the Emperor, man, that is gonna be a really cool story. Plus, in that trailer, John Boyega looks like he is freaked out, like he doesn't know what's going on, he's looking panicking throughout that entire thing. So if that guy is going to go from that to the hero of this new franchise, that's a great character arc. I'm excited to see that happen. Now that is just a theory at this point, but it is backed up by another piece of news that came out, and that piece of news that came out is that they can't let any more news come out. That's a weird thing to say, but trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. They announced that they cannot say the last names of the two protagonists for this new Star Wars film, Finn and Rey. They can't say their last names because they are spoilery. It's gotta be Skywalker and Solo. There's nobody else who it could be. Unless it's like Fett. Oh my god, it might be Fett. Oh, sorry. Making a video here. Okay, focus. Yeah, so it could totally be that he is Finn Skywalker and he's teaming up with Rey Solo. This all sounds cool to me. And I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. As a movie buff, I do appreciate them as films. As a movie buff, I look at them and go, those are really well-made films. Half of them. But out of all the geeky properties that I ever got into, it just wasn't one of the ones that I got obsessed with. I mean, if you watch this channel, you know I already got comic books taking up 90% of my brain right here. There just was not space for that. But, and you're not gonna believe this, ever since Marvel started putting out the Star Wars comics, I've been getting really into it. Those books are all really good. I'm shocked at how well all those books work. And now hearing this news and all the little like sneak peeks that we've been getting at, man, I cannot tell you how excited I am for the new Star Wars film. But that's not the only thing that's getting me excited for this. One of the reasons why I wasn't that big a fan of the prequels is because everything was just too shiny and CG and too glistening and sparkly. That was one of many reasons why I wasn't that into the prequels. But we also got our first glimpse at the new standalone Star Wars film that's coming out. The first of many standalone films, Star Wars Rogue One, which is a movie all about that team that went in and stole the blueprints for the Death Star, which is a really cool idea. I love that they are now filling in these little gaps that happen in between the films. That's another thing that I love about the Star Wars comics over at Marvel. If you are a big Star Wars fan and you love the history of Star Wars, you have to be reading these books because they are all in canon and they reveal a ton of stuff. But we are going to get the story of that team, and today we got our first picture of that entire crew and of the set of this film, and oh man, am I excited. Because, listen, I do like the bright and sparkly sci-fi, but I love the dingy and grungy sci-fi, and that was one of the things I loved about those first 3 Star Wars films, is that was like, no, this is the Wild West out in space. This is dirty, grungy, rebellious stuff. And looking at this picture right here, oh my gosh, this is total, like, no, we are in the shit. We are deep in enemy territory. We have no high-tech resources. We are going up against this big evil empire, and we're just a plucky young group of heroes here. And we already knew that Gareth Edwards, the man who directed Monsters and the most recent Godzilla film, would be directing this, which means we probably wouldn't actually see someone use the Force until the last 5 minutes of the film. But with this photo, we also got the full cast list. And yeah, this is an impressive looking cast. Also, for anybody who has seen my channel before, you know I cannot remember names to save my life. And there's like 10 names to go over here, so I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm not looking at my phone. Okay, looking at this picture going from left to right, we've got Riz Ahmed, Diego Luna, who has my favorite name out of any actor ever, Felicity Jones, who she's standing smack dab in the middle, so if I had to take a guess, I'd say she's the star of this whole thing. Then we've got Jiang Wen and Donnie Yen, which, holy cow, Donnie Yen is amazing. Just throw something random of Donnie Yen up right now. Wasn't that cool? But we also got Ben Mendelsohn, Alan Tudyk, Forrest Whitaker, and Mads Mikkelsen. So begin placing your bets now on which of those last 2 guys is going to be the villain of this film. But yeah, this is an amazing looking cast, and I think that this is a perfect example for Disney to show off what they want to do with the Star Wars universe, which is just fill in some of the gaps, and also show off different sides to the universe too, because I talk about how those original Star Wars films were kind of grungy and dingy, but they were still kind of bright and happy and adventurous. This looks dark, and I love the idea of them filling in the different tones of this Star Wars universe, because no universe out there has the exact same tone all over the place. So I love the idea that they are going to create different standalone films that kind of show off the different sides of this world, and this is the dark side that we're starting with. Actually, it's not the dark side. I just realized there actually is a dark side in the Star Wars universe. That was the wrong word for me to use. You guys know what I mean. Move on to the next story. And this is the biggest news, but at the same time, let's face it, it's the news we all knew was coming. We had all been waiting for this announcement, but now it's official. There will be an expansion built onto the Disney World theme park, which will be Star Wars Land. And not only is this an expansion, they say it is the largest expansion they have ever done. 14 acres, which by my calculations is roughly half a mile in each direction. Holy cow, that is big. And it lets me know that they are serious about this. They are like, no, we're going to get this done right. Unlike Universal with that Nintendo theme park deal, which someone told me is actually just going to be them having characters in the costumes walking around, which, if that's true, Universal, shame on you. Anyway, back to Disney. And not a lot of details were given, but they say that you're going to basically be walking around on a replica of an unnamed Star Wars planet. They made it sound like this is a planet that hasn't appeared in Star Wars yet, which would be weird if they did that. You've got so many planets to choose from and you're not going to use any of them. You're going to just create theme park planet. I don't know. That could just be rumor at this point. But it's going to be something where you can walk around this area and you're going to actually get to interact with people dressed in costumes, but also some animatronic figures and some living puppets, which sounds awesome to me. And you're going to get to go through a market and a bazaar on this planet from the Star Wars world. And the biggest thing is that you are going to get to actually ride in the Millennium Falcon. And they say you're going to get to drive the Millennium Falcon. You're not going to drive the Millennium Falcon. Let's all be serious on this one here. You're not going to be sitting in the seat and actually driving that thing around unless you have like 200 of these things built and they're each basically just those coin-operated things in front of the grocery store. No, this is going to be one of those rides where 20 people go in at a time, strap your belt buckles up, and then like a CGI Han Solo on a video screen in front of you is going to turn around and be like, oh, hey there guys, come on, we're going to get you all to safety. And then it'll be you guys driving around, you're going to be bumping around your seats. You'll probably fly through that giant worm creature, go through an exploding Death Star at some point. Probably, I don't know. Sounds fun to me. Although, let's face it, they could seriously just build 300 of those things that you have in front of the grocery store with the little Millennium Falcon on, and people would still line up for miles to do that. Now, I'm excited for this new Star Wars land, but I have to give a word of caution to Disney. Disney, listen to me carefully. Do not, for the love of God, do not put anyone in a Jar Jar Binks costume. This is not me coming in and saying like, oh, I didn't like Jar Jar Binks. That is not what this is. This is me telling you, you get some poor college kid to get in a Jar Jar Binks costume and walk around, you'll be signing his death warrant. I know how things are at your theme park for those people who have to dress in the costumes. There's a hierarchy to it. All the people who dress like humans are at the top, and no one ever messes with them. People get their pictures taken with them, people have a fun time with them, but anybody who dresses like an animal or some kind of a creature in one of the big foam costumes, it's just a contest for kids to see who can kick them in the nuts the hardest. So if you suddenly have someone dressed like Jar Jar Binks in one of those costumes, not only are you going to have kids line up around the block to try and kick them in the shins, you're going to have adults in that line too, because that's going to be the target for all the angry Star Wars nerds to just go, you're the one that ruined my franchise. Do not do it. Do not put anyone in a Jar Jar Binks costume. If you really, really feel the need to have a Jar Jar Binks anything, make it a Jar Jar Binks batting cage where you just put like his face all around where the people are hitting the balls and then just let him go nuts. That's it. Granted, you're gonna have some people just run away from the base and just start whacking him with the bat, but still, lives will be saved. But that is it for this episode of the Weekly Geekly Report. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about all this Star Wars news. Like I said, I am just a casual fan. I just enjoyed the movies. So I would really be happy to hear from some die-hard Star Wars fans about what you felt about all this news that broke. Also, if you'd like to see more from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right there. I do videos every single week about anything from the world of geekery, whether it be comic books, movies, video games, anything like that. And if you want to find me somewhere else on the internet, you can follow me on Twitter and Tumblr. The address is right there. If you want to ask me any questions, that's probably the best way to do it. And if you want to see some more stuff from me right now, well, like I said, I mentioned that Nintendo theme park. I did a video where I proposed all my fun ideas for the Nintendo theme park, so go ahead and click on that right there. I enjoy that video. Then again, I'm biased towards it. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.